Hello everyone, my name is Michaelis, and on this video I want to talk about exponential function, and it will be also an introduction to logarithm. So let's start. First, to go further, we have to go back a little bit, and you might be used to the concept of a function, but let's see a little bit of it. So a function is basically a process that we do with a variable. So we have a variable as an input. So let's say we have our function that we call f, and our variable we call x. So we have f of x. So x is my input, is what I'm giving to the function, and then the function gives me back the output. So let's say that in this case it gives me back 2x. So I have f of x equal to 2x. And that function right here is called a linear function, because if you look to the graphic of the function, it would look like a line. So something like this. Another type of function that's very common is quadratic function. So it is when f of x is equal to, let's say, x raised to the second power. It could be 2x raised to the second power, or anything here in the front. But the important for a quadratic function is that x is raised to the second power. And on the linear function, x is raised to the first power. We don't write it, but it is as if there was the number 1 here. So you can see that there is always x raised to a power. But what would happen if I want x to be what would be my exponent? Exponent being the number that is raising another number. So in this case I would have f of x equal to, let's say, b raised to x. That's something a little bit different and looks a little bit more complicated. Well, but that's what we call exponential function, and there is some conditions to the value of b, so that the exponential function exists. So the first condition is that b is bigger than 0, and the second condition is that b is different of 1. In another video we will see a little bit of why this is. But to the moment, let's just remember that these are the two conditions. And the graphic of the function looks like something like this. And you might have seen something like that with the disease that is spreading worldwide, and it's said that the spread of the disease is exponential because it follows an exponential function. So it grows, the number of people infected grows exponentially. But mathematical concept. The graph of the function will look like this. So it will grow exponentially if b is bigger than 1. If b is smaller than 1, then the graph will decrease exponentially. It will decrease exponentially. But now let's think, if I have a value for the f of x, so I have I already know the output, so I know that my f of x is equal to L. So my output is L, and then I want to know what must be my input so that my output will be L. So that's the same thing as asking what should be the value of x so that my f of x would be L. And that is when the concept of logarithm comes up, because that's the same as if I ask what is the logarithm of L on the base b, and that's equal x. So we have here the same question, that is to which power I have to rise b so that I will have L. That is what logarithm means. And because the exponential function is where the logarithm comes from, then you can always go from one way of writing it to the other. So if I have something written using exponent, or if I have something written in the exponential form, I can always write it again in the other way around as well. So if I have something written on the logarithmic form, I can always write it again on the exponential form. And that's very important for you to remember, because it will help you to solve a lot of problems using logarithm, and also understand better the properties of logarithm. If you remember this concept, that's very important, very important. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you liked this video, please give your like and subscribe to the channel. And I hope see you soon on the next video, where we will be seeing some applications of logarithm, and we will do some exercise to practice this concept. So see you soon. Bye.